all the fish were empties.
Oh, don't worry, it'll come up. I'm not bright either.
Yeah,
excellent.
I'm not that
It'll be okay.
that was a fun little interaction between
Me, Fred.
Okay, so if we're all ready,
yeah.
Chloe will join us in a second. Great. Hi everyone. And hi everyone who's here. I'm on the GM's one. Welcome to the second hour of Adventurers Wanted. As our audience member, those of you on the stream pointed out, that should mean we know what we're doing. We'll see. Before we kick off this hour's game, we just want to let you know this is a relaxed performance. What that means is that if you are unable to stay still or quiet during the show, that's absolutely fine. We're not going to kick anyone out for that or anything like that. And also the lighting will be staying like this. And there will be no loud, sudden noises, but there will occasionally be music playing in the background. If for any reason you need to take a break or a breather, there's a seating area which I think you were just at, right out there. Please feel free at any point in the hour if you just need some time to get out, although the AC is on in here, which is very nice, so we should be okay. I'm Naomi, and if you need any help during the show, I'm the person to come to. I'll be right over there. And if you need a hearing aid, a headset, anything like that, let me know and I can sort that for you. But I will pass on to our GM, Leo.
Please. Please. Yes, hello, my name's Leo. Welcome. Hello everyone watching on the stream. What this is we're doing, hang on a second, we're doing, I haven't done this yet, total professional.
That's a charisma saving throw for Leo. Slightly disadvantage.
So here's how the game works, just in case you don't know. Each of the characters, each of the players on stage has a unique character attached to them, and their characters will interact with the world that the Game Masters have written together. The Game Master will then tell the players how the world reacts, and to mediate there's going to be some dice rolls. Just to make sure that everybody feels that things are fair or hilariously unfair, depending. The story so far, what's happened is the scientific research vessel, the Ship of the Horizon, stumbled across a very ancient evil, and in trying to escape that evil, accidentally teleported themselves somewhere they don't know where they are, and they have just been attacked by bipedal shark-like creatures whom they chased down to a very small, chitinous-feeling island. It feels a bit like a shell underfoot. And they've just saved two natives, presumably, of wherever they are, from being enslaved by the bipedal shark-like creatures. One of them, a tall, svelte, fox-like looking creature, with a snout and foxy teeth and ears. The other one who introduced himself as Crusoe, who was a sort of dwarfish height, but emaciated with some scales showing through underneath the skin. Just for the benefit of anyone who has just joined us, we'll introduce our characters, starting with Tom on the left there.
Cool. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Michael Salmon, who is human, not a fish, but does like fish, really likes cooking, but is very scared of combat. But so far, seems surprisingly good at it. So watch this space.
I'm Chaz. I'm playing Commander Golan Height, who is the after the death of the captain of the Spirit of the Horizon, he's sort of the acting captain. He is also not dealt with the death of the captain quite well, and as a result has become a literally violent alcoholic.
I'm Chris, I'm playing Ulmon Bloodgrip. I'm a dwarf, cleric, I like to save people, I'm the ship's medic.
I'm Chloe, I'm playing Laura Ellenvall. I should know that because I picked that name. I'm playing a half-elf bard who is also the ship's translator, well, one of them. And so, yeah, she's well prepared because she has her loot, which is what you need when you're stranded in a mystical land.
Okay, so bring us into the game. What happens is Michael and Golan, you see gold sort of light playing up and down the arms of Troglodyr and Rogar, Troglodyr and Rogar, and it grows and it grows, and then suddenly they're not not there anymore.
Rogar, no! I'm relieved. You were my friend. Not Rogar, not the other one.
And in their place stand your good friends, whom you know from the ship. This has never happened before. They seem
What
to
the
have...
bloody hell is this?
I would like an explanation.
What were you doing the moment before you teleported to the island?
Who's steering the bloody ship?
So Holmorn is stood there with his hands like, and then and just falls forward slightly.
Oh, hello, Commander, where are we?
I would like an explanation from either or both of you.
But not none.
I think it's magic.
That would be the best explanation I can give.
Ray Laura, do you have Arcana
I
proficiency?
No, I've only got +1 to it.
Okay, never mind then. Do you have Arcana proficiency or not? Oh, that's unusual for a cleric.
No.
There we are then! I presume the two fighting people don't know exactly. Never mind then. You don't know what happened.
I'm getting rather sick of... Crusoe, any ideas?
Crusoe just looks terrified at these.
Who are these
Open
people?
this up to the floor here.
Who are these people?
Oh, these are captains.
Right.
This is Crusoe, this is... I'm sorry, I never got your name.
My name is Captain Trip to the Summit. My friends call me Trip.
Nice to meet you, Captain Trip. I'm a Golden Heights acting captain of the Spirit of the Horizon. That's that big one over there.
You appear to be a fox.
Yes.
Tactful as always, good work!
And
Fascinating.
You appear to be a Sariki without his scales.
A what with the what now?
Oh, I see. Right,
I'm glad you do, because I've got no clue what's going on.
Neither do I.
Right.
Not to be blunt about this.
Olmo, nice to meet you.
Trip.
Relora, keep me a little bit.
And Crusoe is just through a ship's biscuit. He goes, Crusoe. This poor emaciated dwarf is trying to eat while he has the opportunity. She points at Crusoe, Trip does, points at Crusoe and says, "That is a Sariki. Notice his scales, and you do indeed see these patches of just blue and grey scales coming through his skin.
So
Where are yours?"
So he's like half fish or something.
He's a Sariki.
We're not from around here.
Clearly. What on earth are you two? You look like Eurabans without the touch.
Does anyone want to pass meaning from that? Salmon?
We are human. You spell it W-H-O.
No. Swing a miss, Salmon!
Even I know that's
Oh, no. Salmon?
Look, it's perfectly bloody simple. I'm a dwarf, right?
A dwarf.
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 Okay.
Right.
That's G-R-P.
No. Starts with a D.
No. You were literally spelling the word grape, Salmon. Well, Captain Trip, is your ship completely destroyed? Is it scuttled, or is it still seaworthy?
No, it's still seaworthy for now. They haven't got around to dismantling the hull. They've just stole our supplies and our cargo.
And Crusoe, you've been here for 2 months, so I assume your ship has already been
Our
gutted.
ship's gone.
It's gone. It's gone, is it? Well,
And you thought I was like him?
well, apparently Captain Trip's crew have been enslaved by these shark folk, and they're building some
Shark people.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
Sorry.
the ones
Yes.
I
Do you
remember
remember?
that.
Do you remember all the shark people we were fighting, and I was like, steer the ship, and you were like, I'm on it, and you steered the ship?
Now I do.
Yes.
If you look at the body just there,
And
Ugh.
you see a
Yeah.
decapitated
what happened?
shark-like biped.
What
down on the
happened
floor.
before we?
Well, there was a very useful green dragon, and quite frankly, I wish he was here.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
Right.
Take slight offence.
Okay.
Well, thank you for saving us anyway.
Well,
The rest of our crew also needs saving if you could help.
how many more?
Can anyone spare a dagger?
This floor feels weird.
Yep.
Roll a strength check.
That is an 8.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
I have a dagger. When you say spare, what do you need it for?
I can help fight. We've only been here a couple of days. I still have most of my strength.
How could you with one of these? And I like pull my coat back, revealing that one of the hand axes.
That'll do if that's what you've got to hand.
No, wait, I've still got my rapier, so I just kind of, I'm going to pass. I'm not going to toss it. I'm going to pass it.
Yeah, of course.
And
There's a
I'll
slide
And she takes
as it goes.
so I don't have my dagger.
Not
She,
sure
she takes the knife and she says, "Thank you. Now, let's go and get these things."
Do you know what these things are?
Rakina.
Fun to kill, I tell you that.
I'd only heard of them in tales.
Right.
Not really bumped into any myself.
How many more do you think are at this site where they're building the temple, where your crew are?
At least a dozen. They come and go. It's
least a
some
dozen.
kind of holy site for them.
A
Well,
dozen.
if there's a holy sites, I know all about that. Let's get going.
I'm just thinking, if there's a dozen of them, we might need to get more people involved in this. But
Nah.
apparently they're just evaporating off the island, no matter what team we put together.
Well, if we can free some of my crew, they'll be able to help as well.
Well, in that case, that's the priority.
Yeah.
Some
Actually.
quite apt fighters.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
I'll
you're
choose
So
it.
the
you-
captain.
Keep eating.
Crusoe's like, "Oh well."
But stay away from that bread. That bread is pretty.
I was just wondering if we could take a little 10-minute break, perhaps, crew? Maybe make ourselves feel a bit better.
A short rest.
A short rest.
I
Sure.
mean, we just bloody came, so
These guys are
fill in
fine.
your boots,
I mean,
Captain.
as
Mechanically, a short rest allows them to recover some health.
I
Okay,
could.
fine.
how,
But you seem to be nominally in charge, Commander.
I seem to be actually in charge.
Right.
as you are commander slash captain, acting
Acting captain.
captain.
AC.
AC.
Right.
Can't spell cool without AC.
Oh, God.
You are strict as a captain. Let's go.
Oh, I behead him? Is that what it is?
I was going to offer a song of rest in case that would have been any help, but if you're already cool.
Yeah, very good, very good.
It might be nice to hear the song just to calm the nerves a bit.
Yeah. Salmon's been through a lot today. He's killed a lot of things. He's been great, actually.
Good lad. Put hairs on your chest, that one.
I think he's wasted in the kitchen.
God, it has.
I think he's wasted in the kitchen. I'm going to bring you on every attack party from now on.
Okay, shall I?
What, do a song of rest? Oh, you taking a short rest?
Well,
Don't see why not.
You're
Let's hear a song.
I could use it.
Do you need, I'm sorry, do you need healing?
Yes.
Well,
You do have a potion healing. All of you have one potion healing.
That's what, 1d6?
It's 2d4 plus
3d4 plus 2. Oh, in that case, I'll just have my potion.
2. Okay.
right.
No!
Relora, undervalued as always.
You're so ready there.
There once, but yes, thank you, Laura.
Mazim, I would not be impartial to a marching song.
A marching song.
Aye.
What if we're going in quietly
Wait.
to free some slaves?
Why are we going quietly?
Yeah.
They're the hammers of justice.
Because we need to free the rest of the crew first, because there's too few of us to take on a dozen fishmen.
Fascinating.
As much
Use
as
your
I like
head.
to give, texture to the atmosphere, marching song at this point, maybe not.
Oh, for God's sake.
Acting captain, I should point out at this point that I'm not particularly good at the sneaky.
Well, could you at least try, as a favour?
Absolutely, I will attempt, but it's more mechanical. It's mechanical game advice, I'm afraid.
There's a 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't say this with any relish, but I'm really good at sneaking.
That's right, you should be in the vanguard with me, Salmon!
There's a relish pun there, son.
I lick my hand.
Should we continue? I'll stay back a bit.
Right, do you know in which direction they're entering?
Yes, we follow this path along, and then we come to the prison camp. For a taste for the in front of their temple.
Are you, you're quite good at the sneaky?
I'm very good at the sneaky.
Excellent.
How
In that
about-
case, you take point.
Crusoe, was it?
Yes,
Sneaky?
I think Crusoe's going to stay here.
I'll follow behind
Okay.
eventually.
He's more biscuit than...
Can I inside check Chris?
Sure. Roll an inside check. No.
No.
You have
What's
full
it?
confidence that he will follow on and be part of the battle.
Good. I like your strapping stripes, lad.
Thank you.
Shall we?
Okay.
That's a biscuit.
He nicks a biscuit. And Trip just looks at you like, if there could be some left over for my crew, that would
I'm
be
sorry, are these your biscuits?
Yes.
Do you not like people nicking your biscuits?
And then she walks off down the path,
Crusoe, don't eat all the biscuits.
and he shakes his head, and then picks up the rope and starts and says, I'm going to drag them to the prison camp. My crew need these.
Alright.
And he just slowly starts dragging the crate behind you as the rest of you swiftly cut through the undergrowth. And
That's me being stealthy, not
Yeah.
tall.
it's true, his plate.
As a friend, try.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll a stealth check at disadvantage. Everybody else roll.
Well, that's a 2.
Okay, yeah, no, he can't try even as a friend.
That's a 21, I'm just
Having put myself in the firing line, I've got a 7.
That's not great, is it?
It's not great.
16. Something just comfortable.
Alright, what's the marching order here? We've got Trip at the front.
Yeah, I'll probably follow behind Trip with Sam.
I'll go directly behind those two.
I'm on the back eating biscuits.
Fantastic, no worries. So the three at the front, or the two of you at the front, eventually will see this first. You come out to a clearing that's been cut in the trees, and the sight is pretty horrible. Off to the right, there are a series of very large cages that appear to be made out of iron, but have this sort of purple sheen to them as well. And in these cages are a whole lot of different people who are just sat in chains, obviously hungry. They've not been given food. They're in rags. Some of them have clearly been there longer than others, and there are other Sariki, the short dwarven, fishy kind of people. And there are also these tall, well-built, sort of 7 foot, 8 foot. You can't really tell they're sat down. Very tall creatures. Incredibly well built, and you get the idea that these are Trip's crew, along with a handful of other fox-like creatures, and then people who look kind of human, but their skin are very the paleness in their skin as you're looking at them.
Can I do a perception
That's all off to the right.
for keys? Or like guards, maybe?
Sure. Make a perception check.
Some sort of warden figure. That is 15.
Okay, cool. We'll hold on to that.
Thank you.
I wander up behind. What's all this then?
So that's on the right, and then
Well,
on the left you've got a huge pile of bones, just bones, that have been picked clean of flesh. Next to that you've got a huge pile of weapons that are not neatly ordered, they're just chucked there. And in between that is the entrance clearly to a temple, and some of the slaves are out there working, chiseling away with weapons, with whatever's to hand, creating 2 statue columns on either side of the entrance to the temple, which they seem to be carving these turtle-like figures, except the turtles seem very, for want of a better word, monstrous.
can I roll the religion check?
Yes,
That is a natural critical success.
critical success. This is not a religion that you're familiar with, but it's very clearly a tenet of a religion, either a symbol or maybe it is a mythological creature for this religion. This great monstrous turtle. You do remember reading somewhere way back when that some religions believe that the world is built on a turtle's back. That seems a bit weird.
Right, shields out, hammers up, smack the unbelievers.
And all around,
I don't like this at all.
there are 5 of the shark-like fish creatures. 5 of them wandering around. One of them does indeed have keys. 2 of them are overseeing the slaves that are carving the turtle creatures' statues, and the rest are literally eating off the bone, sat next to the big pile of bones, and occasionally they just chuck a bone.
Do you think you could give us keys?
I can try. And she
Wait.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Why don't some of us cause a distraction, and then she can try and nick the keys?
Well, Here's what I was going to suggest.
Because I'm really tempted to smite the other
Salmon.
Yeah.
You can make fog, can't you?
Yeah, I'm a bit magic.
I'm a bit magic.
Well,
I'm a bit magic.
how about you put a little fog thing where those three guys are that we momentarily confused, won't know what to do. That'll give you, there, if you're so desperate to hit something, you can run into the fog cloud, smash them up a bit.
No, I'm not running and hitting things. No, I'll stand at the back and make sure you guys are alright while you hit things.
No,
Yeah.
If we want to, try and be unobtrusive, I can cast sleep. I have that. Just throwing it out there. I mean, you might want to undervalue me and just
Oh,
get
no,
me to
no,
pick
no.
this up and put it down.
No, absolutely not, Laura. Please cast some sleep.
So is that
Remind
what
me
we're doing?
exactly how.
You need to roll 5d8,
Okay.
Where's the spell book?
and then tell me what you roll, basically.
23.
23.
Yes.
Okay. Is there a particular Rakina you would like to target with this spell?
So the keys.
The one with the keys?
Yes.
Okay. You mutter the magic incantation under your breath, and the Rakina just slowly sways, and his eyes close, and it just flops to the floor.
That's how you do it without smashing things.
Excellent.
Aye.
None of the other Rakina seem to have noticed.
Yes.
But this.
Captain Trim.
Okay. Oh, that was a good roll.
You tricker.
Sam, we're going to have the attitude talk again.
Not everything about me is magic.
So, Trip rolled a 25 for stealth.
Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
So she disappears. Like, at one moment she was in the undergrowth with you, and then she slips behind a tree, and now you can't see where she's gone.
Oh, very good.
That's mighty impressive.
Until you see her appear at the back of the cage, and the one of the slaves in there turns around and she goes, and then she slips around the side of the cage, and the big built, one of their big built creatures, a female, catches sight of her, and a grin just appears on her face like, yeah, that's my captain.
Certainly that might be her crew.
And she does a little combat roll, ends up behind a box, and then just reaches out, and the keys are no longer on the thing's belt. It's now in the hands of Trip. And then she looks back at you like,
Aye, do it! Oh, damn it, sorry.
and at this point, the four other regulars turn around, spot the rest of the group, and they all just scream. Like the
Sounds a good time to shoot! I would like to rage.
You would like to rage? Sure.
I'm ready to hand Dex to throw if necessary.
Where is Trip's Dex? 18. So she goes first anyway. So she runs to the front of the cage and jams in the key. Thank you, Naomi. Jams in the key there. And she's struggling to get the key in the weird coral-like lock. That's her turn. So, Relora, it's your turn first.
Is it me first?
Oh no, sorry, it's not. It's mine.
Michael Salmon!
Slippery like a...
Yeah.
It feels like swimming upstream sometimes.
There you go.
So there are 3 of them. Is that 4 of them?
There's 4 of them. 4 of them, and one asleep that I would like you to remember is not dead.
Yes.
Really sleeping.
I'd like to shoot the nearest one.
Okay, sure. They're all just running. They're about 60 feet away from you. 2 of them have scrambled up from eating whatever they were eating. 2 of them are over at the temple mouth, and they're just running towards you. The jailer is about 30 feet away from you, asleep on the floor, and right behind Trip.
Okay, I'm going to shoot on the far left.
Far left.
Yeah.
Cool. Fantastic. So one of the ones who were eating.
Yes.
Roll an attack roll.
That is 26.
That hits. Strangely enough.
And then that does 6.
6 damage?
Yes.
Cool. So you loose your arrow and it strikes the Rakina in the lower belly, but it's still coming at you. It didn't even look like it felt the force of anything. Now it's Renora.
I would like to. I want to give AC over here bardic inspiration.
Sure.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How are you going to go about that?
Well, it's 6 seconds technically, isn't it?
6 seconds.
I have to do it in 6 seconds. Okay.
But we could be gentle with those rules.
I'll try and think of something quick.
Artistic license.
Oh, Captain just hits everything you can see because, as we all know, you can't spell cool without AC. That quick little pass.
The D6 is it? D6
Yeah,
inspiration
D6.
die. So you've got a D6 inspiration die to use in the next 10 minutes.
In the next 10 minutes.
You've got to use that.
Aside from that, I don't really have much that's ranged. Could you just remind me of the range of Thunderwave?
20 feet.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Or is it? What is it?
15 directly in front of you.
I thought it was a 20-foot cube set of
Renora
ranges,
is
but
gonna-
it's not far enough.
Relora's gonna just have her rapier kind of ready, but she's also gonna use some movement to just move away from Olmon. I just feel like he's gonna be drawing a lot of attention
Okay, cool.
and a lot of people to him. So
So you slip back, just to the side, to
yeah,
the
just
back a
kind of to
little
the
bit.
side, a bit to the back. Yeah.
No worries. That brings us to Golem.
Perfect. How far away is everyone?
Everyone is about 60 feet away, apart from the jailer who is 30 feet away, because they haven't moved yet.
So the only the only enemy I can get to
In one move is the jailer, yeah.
is the jailer. Okay, just to be on the safe side, I'd like to go up to the jailer and turn his head into paste.
So is this... Oh, there we go. Thank you, Alex.
Rules of Thunderwave.
Is this is an automatic critical?
Yes, it is.
So roll as if you've got a critical. Jeez, things are happening.
When you attack sleeping things, it's easier, I think.
Yeah. So you just
So that is 9 times 2 is 18 plus 5.
that's enough. Yeah. So you run up to the Rakina and swing your mace, just bring it down on its head, and it's just and it's a dead jailer now.
Can I then just whip my head over to the 3 with that?
Roll an intimidation check.
Thank you. No. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was cool. That's why I let you do the check.
That is a big fat 6.
They seem angry more than anything.
Yeah, I bet they are. Not Gary.
Gary the regular.
Who's the one to spread it?
Is that name? How does that fit into the naming conventions, Alex?
It's the first name in the naming conventions. Gary.
So who else is coming up then? Simon, Tom,
Jeff.
Jeremy,
Barry, Larry,
Harry.
Mo, and Ike.
Right. Now that we've established that, it's the Rakina's turns. Unfortunately, not yourself.
Well, they can't get to us.
They can. They can get to you.
Oh yes, they can get to 30 feet.
You move 30. So
Nice one.
the 4 of them fall down on you. What's your AC again?
14.
Oh, dear me.
A lot of hits there.
That is a critical success.
Oh dear me.
And 2 other hits. So here's the crit.
Yeah. And it's all halved because I'm raging.
That's a D10. So that's 6 plus 12, 13 halves, so we'll call that 6 for you.
6. Cool.
And then we've got 13 other damage, halved,
Yeah.
so another 6.
Another 6.
So 12 damage total. As these 3 shark-like creatures just fall on you with their spears jabbing at you. It's just
Screaming to me.
How are you looking, Captain?
Captain! To be honest, I am raging at being stabbed, so you go, how are you looking, Captain? What you get back is...
Fantastic.
Okay. Olmorn, how are you doing?
I step forward, take my hammer, bash it on my shield twice, and say, "Smite the unbelievers!" and cast guiding bolts at
One of the Rakina in the melee.
in the melee.
That was a good distraction.
16.
16 hits, definitely. Ooh.
That is 23.
You're joking.
3 sixes, 23.
That obliterates a beams of light.
Pour out of the hammer!
This beam of light pours out at the top of the hammer as you aim it down at one of the Regina, and he's just taken out.
That's right. Your god's rubbish.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Can I also bonus action a healing word at him?
Yeah, absolutely. Healing word and AC and Golden.
Yep.
5.
5 health.
Thank you very much.
Just get 5 health across as well.
Cool. Now it's Trip. Nope. she's still struggling with the key in the lock.
Is it this?
It is that. That's exactly what it is.
It's lefty tighty, right? It's lefty tighty.
Her ear is just sort of twitching as she's frustrated. Michael, Salmon.
I was looking very concerned here at Golden, and I'm like, oh god, some mad hole. And then I shoot at the most tattered looking one that remains.
The one that you shot earlier is still up.
Yeah.
If you want to continue with him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that is 12.
Just hits. That's what you needed.
Nice.
12 is just what you want.
And that does 11.
11 damage.
That's cool.
He takes another arrow in the back. He's now looking a little bit peppered. Yes, that was
tasty.
Thank you. Thank you. I can join in with the puns too.
Do you want some ice for that?
Melora.
I'm still at a distance, pretty much,
Yeah, you
from
are.
these guys, aren't they? Like, what kind of distance?
They're about 30 feet away from you now.
Oh, they're
down-
30 feet away.
They're 30 feet away down into the...
Are there a group of Rakina who are kind of
So what you see,
clustered?
what you saw was Golan ran in from the position up to the jailer that you cast sleep on, smashed his head, and then every other Rakina centered on him and just like fell on him.
Would they be,
with a
say,
series.
within 15 feet of each other?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
They would definitely be considered within 15 feet of one another.
Is he too?
He is also.
He is as well. I mean, I've got a potion of healing in my pocket. Also, I was going to give him a song of rest. I was going to help him earlier. So, feeling a little bit about my acting captain. And also, if it's taking out some of them and just giving them a little bit of a bruise, hopefully. I take my 30 and I run into the kind of cluster of Rakina and I cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
Which is...
So do they
They have to make a Constitution saving throw, as does the captain.
Okay, what's your DC then? 12.
Spell DC is 13.
That's 2 successes. And that's 1 failure.
Did you fail?
2 failures, 1 of them is your captain.
Okay, so it's 2d8 thunder damage, and the ones who succeeded just get half.
Okay, cool.
Sorry,
And it's not, you don't get half this,
you
right?
don't get half.
No, because it's not physical
That's
damage.
not physical damage.
It's 10-foot push as well.
That's 10.
10? Okay.
I'm still up. I'm still up.
The Rakina has 10.
So yeah, 10 and then 5 for the others.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's my
So
damage?
one of, and all of them are pushed 10 feet back.
Yes, and I guess they're prone. They'll have to get up.
Yeah, does it say knocks them prone? Does it say push back and knocks prone?
I know it just says push back.
No, okay, cool. So the one that Michael had been shooting flies back and lands on a wayward sword, and you just hear his neck go against the sword as he lands. And the other two sort of do a skid and then come back in, now angry at you as well. But it's
She's
not that.
satisfied enough with how cool it looks when the
Yeah.
one on the sword.
Did look pretty cool.
but you are also sent flying back as well. It also affected the dead body of the jailer who was just sort of thrown haphazardly.
I do call out, sorry AC!
I almost go to admonish her, but I'm raging. I also just vomit a little bit of blood.
Cool.
So there are 2 left, right?
There are 2 left.
Does one look worse for wear than the other?
No, they both look equally angry.
Equally angry. I would like to run up to one of them, and I will. Yeah, I'll reckless attack. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Do that.
A reckless attack. Okay, so 17 plus 5.
Yeah, that definitely hits. Yeah, that's a hit. You needed 12.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good news. So that's 11 plus 5, 16 damage.
Ooh. It's on 1 health. So,
Hey, I'm on 2! Nice!
oh no! Hey, just run. You run up to it and just sideswipe it with the maul, and you hear more crunching from within its chitinous sort of scales, and it's still standing. Where are we? We're on the recce. Yes. So one is going to run in and attack you because it's very upset with you.
Yeah, something.
That's not great. 8. No.
Against my AC, no,
yes,
13.
13. Fantastic. And one is going to attack you.
With advantage.
With advantage. It rolled a 21.
That'll do it! That'll do it!
I presume that.
I'm no mathematician.
Remember you got it. You got 1 against. Too late.
It's too late for that.
You can't use it in defense.
7 damage.
Yep, cool.
Halved to
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, which puts me on -1.
Which puts you on 0, yeah. There's no minuses.
Alright, I'm fine.
That's good. So the rest of you watch as the I've forgotten your name again. Golan runs straight up to this Rikina, smacks it, and the Rikina comes back with a spear, and Golan just sort of, his eyes sort of fade, and he just drops to the ground, unconscious, still alive but bleeding.
Can I get the music from Platoon, please?
No.
Can I get Adagio for strings?
I think that's a no from BSM. We're at the top again.
Thanks, man.
Oh no, it's all more. It's all more.
Am I close enough to run up and smash the one in the face that felled him?
No. It's
Sure.
40 feet away from you.
Too short.
Because they were blasted back by Thunderwave.
In which case, I'll run a bit closer, so I'm within, 15 feet now?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's at 10 feet. If you want to be 15 feet, you can, but you've got... Oh, you're a dwarf, aren't you? Yeah, 15 feet. Yeah. 15 feet.
So, with one hand, I look at the one that he's basically destroyed, and again shoot flames, a bit weaker this time, not as powerful, more like the healing light of the sun god just flowing from the sky down onto his body. And with the other hand, I reach out and heal him.
Okay.
So
I presume that's a sacred flame.
Yeah,
sacred flame.
So the cantrip heals him for 5 plus damage, same back and left. And Sacred Flame, there's no roll Sacred Flame, it's a dex 13.
Is it in the cantrip?
No, it's not.
No,
It's a second one.
no, it's a cantrip, so yeah.
And you have to roll a dex 13 against him.
Fail. I'm just gonna strike him off.
Yeah, that's 4 plus damage.
Okay, fantastic. So the sun passes through the trees, and you get a moment of god rays coming through the trees, and one of them just sweeps this Rekina away in fire, and you hear it as it just dies.
So my healing was him being ghetto.
Sure, you hear this echoing, but there's loads of reverb on it, right? It's like
Ghetto!
Your range will have dropped.
Yes, I know.
So just so you're aware. And that's the second time you've raged today.
Yeah, so long rest.
Yes. Cool. So now we're at the Ricina, and there's only one of them left, and we're a trip, aren't we? She still can't open that darn gate. Michael. It is like an episode of The Crystal Maze.
10-minute warning.
I've seen the captain go down and get up again. I'm really confused. I go, oh, you've really made a meal of that, and I'll try and shoot the last of the
Oh God!
Please never stop.
This is why no one on the ship likes Michael Salmon.
I like Michael Salmon.
We've had this for months.
Roll at the table.
Cool. Am I aiming for their legs? And that is a 19.
That hits, sure.
And that is a 11.
So you fire the arrow just where you imagine the kneecap would be, and it straight through to the other side and lodges in it, but he's still up.
And I say, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few. I leave that in.
Great. Laura.
The one that's still up, am I close enough to run up at it and do a...
Yeah, it's 10 feet away from you.
Cool. I've got my rapier, so I want to run up. She's a bit cocky, she loves this actually. She wants to do that kind of Zora thing, except leave an R. With her rapier in its chest. So that's kind of what she's trying to do, but you know, deep.
Still that's
16.
That hits.
And that's 8 points of damage.
You kill it with an R. You just your sword just sort of cuts its way through the scale.
And I just
Sounds like you.
I take a quick look around just to see who saw me do the cool thing.
Did I see her do the cool thing?
I did.
You did see her do the cool thing.
I'll just go.
And with that, the dust settles.
Is that
the
a
combat
pig? What is
is
that?
over. That's it. And you just turn around to see Trip still struggling with this.
I'll lean over
kid.
to her, put my hand on her arm, God's guidance, and say, "Let the Sun Lord shine through your hands."
And that did it. that was a 19. And with that, the key clicks into the lock, and she turns it, and the gate swings open, and the large woman, the large female creature you saw earlier, grinning, gets up immediately. She's been watching this entire thing turn around, and she goes up and just hugs Trip and goes, "I knew you'd come back for us."
What does she look like?
So she's got these long, flowing black locks that have been tied up into a bun, but they flow here. It's like poofy bun. She's got these chiseled features. She's incredibly strong. Looking at this, she's absolutely henched, as it were. And as Trip embraces her, she goes, "Timber break," apparently addressing the creature. The rest, at this point, Michael, you hear a scraping noise behind you.
Oh.
And you turn around to see Grusso pulling the crate towards the prison camp. Did I miss it? What did I miss? Did I miss it?
Excuse me, medic.
Aye.
I appear to be bleeding quite profusely.
That seems correct, aye.
Yeah.
Part
Gonna
of-
do something about that?
I can try and heal
We're
her
going to
now.
have a conversation back on the ship, by the way.
I was just going to say, part of that's on me. I've got a potion of healing if
Alright.
it's on me, so I chuck it to her.
Alright.
Captain, I'm afraid I've used my magic for today in this combat.
Well,
I mean, well,
it's a good thing we didn't waste that song of rest then earlier. It's actually a very shrewd decision on the part of an acting captain.
I believe you can do it as often as you like.
She dance off a shrubs. Couldn't have written that, could you?
I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with that answer.
Okay,
I
so
mean, I have saved up cure wounds as well. I'm not an idiot.
Nice.
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Health restored. So Grusso just sort of drags the box past you towards the cage And the slaves, a group of them jump up and cheer, like, yeah! But a lot of them are just sort of staggering out, like they look relieved, but they look crestfallen, like the damage is already done. And Gruso drags the box over to them, and they're just going for the biscuits. And Trip looks at all this happen, and she nods at Timberbrake, like, let them have this. Like, that's.
And do any of them look like us, or do they all look like the strange little scaly dwarves and stuff?
Roll a perception check.
That is 13.
There are no humans, there are no dwarves, there are no elves, half-elves, there are no half-orcs, there aren't even any dragonborn, surprisingly enough, in these cages. They are all of the races that we described before, the big, tall, chiseled ones, the fox-like creatures. You've got the ones that you now know are called Sariki, the sort of fishy dwarves, and the ones that look like humans, but something is a little bit celestial about them. They've got pale skin, and as you're looking at them, their eyes sort of glow with a faint light, a faint power behind them, which is dim, considering they're emaciated, as I said. A lot of Trip's crew go over to the big pile of weapons and start picking out their weapons.
Something's not right here. These two different groups. Can I roll an insight check?
Yes, you can. Yeah, roll an insight check.
That's a 16.
Yes, something is a little bit off. They do, a portion at least of the starving group do seem to be acting in deference to Trip's crew, and indeed the two, they've split into two. So a lot of them are coming over and shaking Gruso's hand, and they're exchanging stories. They clearly know each other, but they clearly don't know this other group that are sort of look a little bit browbeaten, and they're sort of showing deference to Trip and her crew.
I'd like to go and speak to them.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you say? You walk up to one of the pale-skinned, sort of light behind the eyes ones.
Well, I did have like a packet of ship's biscuit that I'd sort of offer.
Yeah, fantastic. And she looks over at Trip with like terror in her eyes, and Trip looks at you and looks at Olmorn and just sort of nods, and she takes, and then all of them just sort of pile around you, taking the ship's biscuits and stuffing them into their faces.
Trip, was it?
Yes.
What's the split here? What's going on?
It's very obvious. These are with Gruso, these are with me.
Why are they showing you deference?
I'm the captain
Of another ship?
of a different ship.
One sec, I just cut over to Trip and I go, that dagger was alone. I can see you go.
She takes the dagger out and goes, quite right it was too. My weapons are in the pile over there.
Exactly, thanks very much.
And at that point she stalks off out of this conversation and goes over to talk to her crew, pulling weapons out of the pile.
Captain, something ain't right.
Sorry,
What?
Michael, what do you say to these?
I said I used to. Are you slaves? That's what I asked them.
We weren't slaves, we were taken.
By Trip. They took you?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh,
who's
I'm
in
good
earshot
about
of this
this.
conversation?
So,
Is it just...
I think it's just you'd walked off to talk. So I would say Relora and Michael.
Oh, so we're not...
cool. So they took your ship, they captured you. And
We were kidnapped, put on a slave ship by pirates, and then the pirate ship was attacked by these creatures, and we were brought to this island to work. And that is where So, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for those of you who have been joining us on the stream. I'm going to hand over to our SM Naomi, who's going to run over here and do a spiel.
Absolutely. Right, thanks for joining us. Please feel free to drop back at any point in the month. We'll be here in this room from 10 till 3 and then 5 till 10 every day. If you have a ticket for the next hour, please feel free to stay. If you don't have a ticket for the next hour, feel free to go down and buy one and stay for another hour. But also, we are streaming this, which is what this camera's about. Hello people on the stream, live on Twitch. And we are live tweeting at Adventurers250 on Twitter. Also, please tell people about the show, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, in person, whatever you want to do. On that note, on our cheeky note of plugging tickets, we also have a cheeky note from some of our players who are in other shows. So I'm just going to let them do a quick plug of what they're doing.
Tom.
I wrote a 20-minute short play that's on every other day, 2nd, 4th, 6th and 8th. But all the even days are 4:20 in the 10 Dome with Pleasance. It's a little comedy about money, grief and class. See it if you want, but if you don't, that's okay.
Chaz?
Yes, I'm in a sketch group called Dirty White Boys. We are doing our first full-month run of the Fringe, off the back of winning Best New Actor London Sketch Fest. The show is called Stupid, and it's that's a great summary of the content. And it is on at Just the Tonic at the Caves every day, starting from tomorrow at 9:20 p.m.
Cool.
And it's free to get in, by the way. It's pay what you want.
Do you want to plug other shows?
Oh my god. So I'm a freelance PR, so I work on a lot of shows up here. My website's Chris Hislop, like Ian, no relation.com. On there is an Edinburgh section with all the shows I'm working on. It runs the gamut. There's absolutely everything that you might want. I won't go on because there's 16 of them. Yes.
I've decided I'm not working on any of the shows, so I'm just going to plug imaginary shows that I wish existed.
Perfect place for it.
I'm currently musical director on Batman the Opera, which is a 4-hour epic. It's absolutely incredible. So go see 4 stars, thank God.
Is that Lego Batman the Opera?
Yeah, well, that's the. We're doing 2 versions. The one for kids is Lego Batman the Opera, and then we've got the one for
Chris
people.
Nolan version.
It's also
Is that the one with Andrea Bocelli playing the Riddler?
We do have really quick 10-minute turnarounds.
Thanks very much for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. That was awesome. Best of luck for the remaining 248 hours.